Folks, this is Tony from No Limit. Today we are starting our first episode of our review YouTube channel, where we're going to review products as far as lift kits, suspensions, lights, wheels, tires, any kind of accessories that your vehicle can be equipped with. Today we are going to start with rooftop tents. We have a 2014 Silverado with an AutoHome Columbus, and we have a 2011 Subaru WRX with the Yakima 4-season Skyrise HD. All right, so the first tent we're going to go over is the Yakima 4-season HD Skyrise Medium. Before we get into all the details, I'll explain to you a little bit of the benefits for rooftop tents over ground tents and why you might want to own a rooftop tent over a ground tent. First of all, ground tent, obviously a little bit more setup. You have to lay, obviously a tarp down on the ground. You're laying on the ground, the cold ground, the hard ground. With a rooftop tent, there's a 2.5-inch thick mattress on here. It keeps you off the ground, keeps you away from any moisture on the ground. As far as cold weather goes, this tent is probably pretty insulated. This is a 4-season, so you could probably be, go down into probably the low 30s, high 20s. As long as you have a good sleeping bag, a good set of blankets, keep it closed, keep it sealed, you'll be warm. I actually own a 3-season, which is a step down from this, and I've been in camping situations in 33-degree weather and absolutely warm as can be inside the tent. Okay, so along with it being very insulated, being a 4-season tent, if you're worried about wind, it's a pretty durable tent, pretty sturdy tent. It comes equipped with these hooks on this side here that you can actually, stake to the ground or tie down to something, add weights to it or something. They obviously hold any gust of wind from lifting up on this part of the tent. So that keeps it pretty sturdy as well. In a wind situation, you might want to take the rain fly off, obviously, because it could get gusts underneath of it. Other than that, it's a super, super sturdy tent. It's probably obviously sturdier than a ground tent. Ground tents tend to, in a gust of wind, would probably just pick up and go, where this is obviously fastened to your car. It's not going anywhere. It's very sturdy once it's open and bolted to the vehicle, so you have no worries with the wind picking it up and blowing it away. All right, so let's get into some of the outside specs of the tent. The outside material is made of 600D nylon. It's the thicker of the two tents Yakima offers, which makes it the 4-season tent. As far as the footprint, when you're inside of it, it's 96 inches long by 54 inches wide. The roof at peak is 48 inches tall. So it gives you a good amount of space to sit up, get dressed, do a little activities, if you know what I mean, in the tent. As far as this rain fly goes, it makes the size of the tent a little bit bigger. This is removable. This isn't permanent on here. This is for, obviously to protect more in depth from rain than just having these things closed on the tent. All right, so the next thing you may be wondering is how the tent attaches to the vehicle. There's a few different ways on cars, on trucks. You get a few options. On this specific vehicle, we have it mounted to 2 fixed points with HD crossbars from Yakima. They hold a static weight of 165 pounds, so you're good to go when it's on the roof. It's very easy to install these. And obviously, if you ever have to remove the tent, those bars, you can attach any Yakima accessory to them. They're not just meant for the tent, they're meant for any other accessory, bike racks, kayaks, holders, anything else, snowboards, that you can use anything. So it's very universal. The rack is very universal for other products Yakima carries as well. I can get into a few of the accessories this tent offers. They have a lot. Pretty cool. They have a shoe bag option, they have LED lighting, they have an annex for privacy that you can mount to the bottom of the tent. They also have a netting system that can either mount under here for storage or in the tent for storage, or both, depending on what you want to do. It's basically a track system around here that anything can slide into. You can hang lights from it, lanterns from it, your clothes from it, anything. So it's very, very well versed in accessories. So you can spruce it up however you want it, make it your own, add a little flair, whatever you want to do. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the interior of the tent / exterior of the tent. The Yakima has a 360 view all the way around. It's got 2 side windows and 2 bigger windows on the ends. They have screens built into them, so if it's nice out, you can have the material open, let air flow through. It also has 2 skylights in the roof with screens as well. Obviously, if it gets cold, you want to zip them completely closed or open just to let nice air and let the sun come in. All right, so the outside of the tent comes equipped with these little hooks here. So when you're opening the tent, you can neatly roll up the outside window and clamp them here so it's out of your way. Also the screen as well, if you just want to have it wide open. I wouldn't recommend that in the spring or summer because of mosquitoes. You don't want them to get it in here because then they'll be biting you all night long. Inside as well, the rainfly actually has 2 clear windows on top. So if you do have this on and you open the screen, you're still letting light in. If you take this off, it's obviously there's a screen that's not going to let anything in. This can come off as well and be stored away if you don't want to have this on here. Summer months, if it's not going to rain, I would recommend maybe removing this for the possibility of trapping heat underneath of it. In my experience, I've noticed that it has done that. So you get this off in the summer and it really allows the wind and the breeze to blow through these screens on the outside and heat escape through the top. So it's probably more ideal if there's no rain in the forecast to remove the rain fly. If there is rain in the forecast, obviously leave the rain fly on because you don't want to get wet and it protects a lot from the rain. All right, so you're probably wondering setup time and speed to get this thing up and running. It's very, very simple. It takes no time at all. I would say probably 5 to 10 minutes, 12 minutes max. It's very, very easy to open. It basically has a cover on it that you have to unzip and it's Velcroed around the sides. Once the cover's open, grab the ladder, open it up, put the ladder in the ground for the stance. If you do have the rain fly on, insert the poles, and you're ready to start camping. It's very, very simple. As far as closing goes, it's kind of the reverse of opening. The only difference you're gonna have and the only issue you may have is depending on what vehicle you have it mounted on, that's where you'll run into maybe a little climbing, maybe a little acrobats to get the poles in and get it open. If it's on a truck real high, obviously it's gonna be a little bit of climbing in order to get up there and unzip everything and open it. A car like this, very simple. You know, you walk right around, insert the poles, maybe 5 minutes at the most. And also the other option would be in a pickup truck bed. That could be a little tricky at times too. The good thing about that is you open the tailgate, you have somewhere to stand. That may assist you with opening, closing, and zipping the tent up. But all in all, very simple to open, very simple to close. Can be done in minutes. All right, now that I gave you guys some information about the Yakima Skyrise tent, we're gonna take a look at this AutoHome Columbus tent. This does obviously the same thing as a rooftop tent that Yakima provides. You can sleep in it, all that good stuff. There's a few differences in these tents, and I'm gonna go over some of the key things that the AutoHome Columbus offers. All right, so let's get into some of the exterior features of the AutoHome Columbus. This is a hard shell tent. It's made of fiberglass, aluminum. It has 440G AirTech fabric. Some tents, even ground tents and other rooftop tents, if you're in colder climates, you'll get a thin band of moisture in the morning, like residue on the inside of the tent. This fabric deters that and wicks that, so you won't have any, moisture inside the tent on the inside of the fabric when you wake up in the morning. This is very easy to open. One latch, push up on the tent. It's open, ready to rock and roll. It has plenty of storage room inside of it, which is good. You can keep all your bedding, your sleeping bags, your pillows, even maybe a small duffel bag inside the tent when you're traveling. That way you can close it. It acts as a storage compartment as well as a tent. The ladder is not built into the tent. It's actually a separate unit. You can either store it in the tent or in the back of your car. Once you get the tent open, grab the ladder, extend it to where you need it, hook it on the side of the tent. You're good to go. It comes in 2 different colors. It comes in a black. It comes in this white. It also comes in a carbon fiber material. One of the key things for this tent is when it's closed, it's very aerodynamic and very flat. So it's, as far as wind resistance goes, it's good. It can mount to any crossbars on most rack systems. It's a little bit heavy, so you want to obviously make sure it's sturdy when you're mounting it. This one's mounted to the Yakima outpost on the back of this Silverado, which works great. Okay, before we get into the inside of the tent, I'm gonna explain a few accessories that are available for this tent. It has a extra large ladder if needed, if this thing's mounted on the top of an SUV or a lifted truck or the roof of something. They have an extra large ladder so you can get up inside of it. It has a winter hood system that can be installed on the tent. That is for extreme cold weather to insulate the tent a little bit better. Keep you very, very warm in the wintertime because it can get cold being up inside of a rooftop tent. They also have a anti-condensation mat that goes on the floor that can help with moisture rising up with temperature changes from the bottom of the tent. It comes equipped with an LED light inside of it, so there's no need to purchase that separately. Let's get into the inside and check out a few of the features it has in there. All right, so let's get into some of the interior features of this tent. As I'm going up the ladder, you can see it's a little thinner, and it's actually a retractable ladder compared to the Yakima, which is a telescoping ladder and a little bit thicker. One's not really necessarily better than the other, just two different features and two different manufacturers. So AutoHome is a handmade tent in Italy. They've been in business for over 60 years doing this. So if you purchase one of these, you're gonna get a top quality tent. The craftsmanship, the materials, it's very, very, very well made. It's sort of simple inside. There's not a lot going on. You know, you have your 2.5-inch mattress, very, very comfortable. You have a door on the front of it here with a screen. You have a screen here with a door and a screen over there with a door. It's also has a cargo net built inside with the LED light. If you're the type of camper or you're the type of person that wants to do a road trip, go across country, you want to take your truck and you want a 4-wheel drive during the day, this is a very good tent for that because it's so fast to open and so fast to close that you can go stay somewhere, close the tent and be on the road within a minute and a half, where you're not, you know, there's not as much setup involved in this actual tent. You can run and gun, throw your stuff in, throw your bag in, close the tent, lock it, and you're on the road. There's not a lot of like setting up and taking down and breaking down a campsite. So this is very, very, very good for that fast-paced guy or girl or couple who wants to hit different spots, one a day, one every 2 days, and they don't want to be, you know, opening and closing the tent and taking time to do that. They just want to shut it and go, open it, and sleep. All right, now that I've explained some of the specs of the tent, let's get into the different style tents they offer. This is the Columbus. It comes in white. It is a wedge style tent. They also offer a 4-post tent, which opens all 4 corners. Those tents come in black, white, and carbon, depending on what style you want, what color your vehicle is, that sort of thing. You can pick between the colors. They also come in different sizes. You have a few different sizes. They have a larger one than this, whatever fits your needs. The larger one kind of sleeps almost 4 people. So if you have a bigger family or you want to bring your kids with you or something like that, it's probably a better tent. As far as price goes, these tents start in the mid $3,000 range, 34, 35, all the way up to about $4,000 for the tent, depending on which one you want. You're paying for the quality, you're paying for the craftsmanship, and you're paying for the 60 years of experience in building these things. So you get what you pay for when you buy these things. They're definitely worth the money. It's just a personal preference. Obviously, you can sleep in this one, you can sleep in the Yakima tent. So at the end of the day, it's personal preference, how much you want to spend, what fits your budget, and what appeals to you as far as rooftop tent camping goes. All right, now that we've explained the 2 different tents to you, we're going to go over a little bit of pros and cons of each tent, so help you make a decision on which one fits you, or if you have any questions, or hopefully it answers all the questions you may have. We're not pinning these 2 tents against each other by any means, saying this one's better than this one or that one's better than that one. We're just simply giving you some pros and cons to help you make a decision. So as far as the Yakima goes, it's a 4-season tent rated for 4 seasons. The AutoHome is rated for 3 seasons, but you can add the winter hood to it to shore up the durability of it and to make it more of a winter tent. The other thing is the Yakima tent has a little bit more, obviously, a 360 view in the tent with a skylight, where the AutoHome doesn't have the 360 view. It has 2 windows on each side, one on the front. Now, the difference between that is, in a windstorm, this may be a little bit more sturdier than that, being that this is made of aluminum. It's a hard shell tent. It protects maybe a little bit better from the wind than that would protect you from the wind. As far as sleeping quarters goes, this particular tent has a little bit more bigger footprint as far as width goes compared to that one. That's 54. This is 66, I think. So you have a little bit more space in between when you're sleeping in the tent. This is 2-person. That's considered a 3-person. But 2 people comfortably, you'd be pretty good. One of the other issues is the price. This one's gonna go for about $100 more maybe than a Yakima tent would go for. So in some people's budget, they may wanna go spend a little less, maybe start with a Yakima $1,500 tent and then expand over time, over a couple years, into the AutoHome tent. So that's pretty much the difference, a little bit of difference between them. All right, and lastly, the difference between the 2 is setup. That may be a main concern for people. Obviously, the AutoHome sets up within 30 seconds. unlatch the latch, push up, tent's open. This takes, you know, 5, 10, all the way up into like 12 to 15 minutes. So that's the main difference between these two. Whichever fits your criteria. If you're doing it by yourself, this is probably easy just to open it and, you know, undo the latch, open it. If you're doing this, you know, with a friend or even by yourself, it might be a little bit harder. Lastly, if there's anything we missed, any details we forgot to mention, any information we gave you that may be not exactly to a T, please let us know in the comments, because we are human. We're new at this YouTube stuff, and we're just trying to give you guys as much information as you need. If you can help us in any way, or we can help you in any way, let us know. You can contact us on the website, nolimitbaltimore.com, or comment in the bottom, or give us a call at the shop, and we'll be happy to assist you in any way we can. And lastly, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, at NoLimitBmore. You can DM us for any questions. We'll respond to you as quick as possible. And until next time, keep building your car, keep camping, keep doing your trucks. See you guys later.